back to Speducation. I am your host, Brandon Reed, and as always, if this is your first time to the channel, a special welcome to you. Well, it's a new week and we have a new lesson. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. Today's lesson, Misunderstandings in Special Education. So, misunderstandings in special education happen all the time. And when you were watching my videos, I try to clarify those miscommunications. But I noticed that when I was going back through my video analytics and I was looking at the number of views that my videos get, there was one video that got a huge number of views. And I didn't truly understand why that was until I actually started to think about it. So this is my channel, and these are my videos that I've posted. And as you can see, I've got some likes here and there. I've got some views, 22, 8, 13, 12, 5, 8, 237. What? And I got 4 likes. Wow, that's pretty incredible. I wonder what that is. Oh, push in, pull out services. Hmm. Now, on the whole, that looks pretty great, 237 views. But then when I really started to think about it and you see it, it brings to mind some other things. What am I talking about? Well, let's start with push in and pull out services. No, these do not mean the same services that you would get at the Moonlight Bunny Ranch. Get your mind out of the gutter, people. The push-in provider brings the instruction and any necessary materials to the student. A reading specialist, for example, may come into the class to work with the student during language arts. Pull-out services typically happen in a setting outside of the general education classroom, and pull-out services provide more one-on-one instruction that can't be provided in the general ed setting. And contrary to popular belief or the podcast or parents out there or other individuals that say, oh, special education and inclusion, pushing into students with learning disabilities into the general ed classroom, that's bad because it lowers the bar for all other students. Well, actually, it doesn't. If you actually research it, you'll find that, if anything, it raises the bar for those students with learning disabilities because you're not lowering the bar for the other students in the classroom. That doesn't make any sense. You're having that bar right at that grade level, or maybe just a little bit above. It's up to the special ed teachers to provide the necessary support in the general ed setting to ensure that those students that are in the general ed setting that have learning disabilities are able to keep up with the rest of the class. And now, if they aren't able to, then that's when pull-out services take place. We'll pull them out and we'll revisit the material. Maybe we do small group instruction, or maybe we help them with their independent work time. But saying that it lowers the bar for all other students in the class to have learning disabled students in that classroom, or it creates more work for the teacher, that's not what special education is about. ED.
Well, I'll tell you that Emily is great. Your mom and I really like her.
Thanks, Pop.
Something on your mind, son?
Actually, yeah. I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but lately I've been having a little trouble, performing.
You mean erectile dysfunction?
ED stands for emotional disability, not erectile dysfunction. Although erectile dysfunction is a problem for a lot of men, it's not necessarily something that we focus on in special education. But for all those men out there that are suffering from this, my thoughts and prayers are with you. Keep that head held high. I meant stay firm. Moving on. ED actually stands for emotional disability, and it's defined as mental derangement or functioning abnormally, although that is the most end of the spectrum. Emotional disabilities cover a wide range of disabilities and disorders, such as anxiety disorders, eating disorders, psychotic or psychological disorders, Conduct disorders. This would include oppositional defiance disorder, bipolar disorder, and obsessive compulsive disorder. Now, there are many ways that you could present ED. One way is the most straightforward, emotional disability, ED, but another way that you could use it as an acronym is emotional behavioral disability, EBD, behavioral disorder, BD, emotional disability, private school environment, which would be EDP, and serious emotional disability, SED. Now, here in Indiana, we use ED, which stands for emotional disability, but we could also use EH, which also stands for emotional disability, but we call it emotionally handicapped. Now, ASD, AUT, AU. Let's just call the whole thing autism. ASD, AUT, and AU are the acronyms for autism. Autism, or autism spectrum disorder, ASD, refers to a broad range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech, and nonverbal communication. According to the Centers for Disease Control, autism affects an estimated 1 in 36 children and 1 in 45 adults in the United States. And again, for those individuals who say autistic students really don't need to be in the general ed setting, keep in mind that my son is autistic, and if you didn't know him, you wouldn't even know that he was autistic. There are a lot of high-functioning autistic students that are more than capable of operating in a general ed classroom. The thing is that some need more assistance than others, and that's where the special ed teachers come in. Not the general ed teacher, the special ed teacher. They provide the resources and support to help that child in the general ed setting. And that's it. Hopefully that clears up some misunderstandings. And again, hopefully got your thought process right. Because again, ED, emotional disability, doesn't mean other things. And push and pull out services does not mean the bunny ranch. Get your mind out of the gutter, people. God is watching. I'm just kidding. Or am I? Now, if you liked what you saw, you learned something new, or you're new to the channel, please click that like button. And if you want updates on future videos, feel free to click the subscribe button and ring the bell for updates on future videos. And as always, if you have questions or comments, or there's a particular topic in special education that you want me to cover, please feel free to drop a line or a comment in the comments section, and I'd be happy to respond. And until next time, class dismissed.